Discussion on Africa Day a little further now, and joining us from our Pretoria studios is Rwanda's High Commissioner to South Africa, His Excellency Vincent Karega. Thank you very much for joining us on the program, and welcome. Happy Africa Day. Let me start there, and perhaps you can tell me, as a diplomat who's traveled the continent, what should we be looking at and celebrating today on Africa Day?
Happy Africa Day, Peter, and all Africans. We as Africans, we must think about our continent on the Africa Day, research or remember who we are and what we stand for in terms of liberating our continent, in terms of transforming the lives of our people. By working together, by building unity, by consolidating our markets, by also exchanging on best practices so that we improve on governance, on economy, and also on the voice in the global arena.
So Agenda 2063 is one of the frameworks that the African Union has put together, and that will mark 100 years of the OAU. We're at year 55 this year, so we're more than halfway. Given where we've started and where we've got to, we've only got 45 years left. Will we reach those kinds of goals that you've been describing in your opening answer?
So we must first appreciate that when they started the Organization of African Unity, only 32 countries were independent, and then in solidarity they supported the non-independent to be independent as well. So today we have almost the whole continent made of independent countries that have decided now to move the extra level by consolidating markets, by also agreeing on a way of governing resources, trading with the rest of the world. Of course, there are so many things that Africa still needs to do, and we believe at the current speed to which more than 10 African countries are the fast-growing economies in the world, and more to come. We hope there will be peace and security in places where there are still pockets of insecurity, and issues like bad governance and corruptions are also tackled and discussed at different levels through different commissions at African Union. So we have the confidence that 100 years later, Africa will be different than the oppressed Africa, the divided Africa along colonial languages and cultures and systems, and we shall come up with consolidated values and solidarity that works economically, politically, and also globally in terms of competitiveness.
So the media and the West is often accused of perhaps telling the narrative of Africa as a negative story. And I just wonder, from your perspective, what story of Africa should be being told? What's being missed?
A lot is missed because the strongest media listened to that dominate the world, the media of those who oppressed us, the media of those who colonized us, who try to define us as people who think they know us. So it is time we are confident enough and we build our strong media, and also we sell our positive story. Because Africa, what is in media in the most time, is the reality of Africa, but only one side of reality. It's disease, it's hunger, it's animals in the jungle. But the universities in Africa, the emerging cities in Africa, the growing agriculture, industry, tourism, education are never portrayed, because NGOs and some organizations also use the misery and the conflict in Africa to fundraise, and that distort the history or the story of Africa, and it also undermine the morale or the confidence of Africans into their continent. So it's also an area where we really need to work together, change, remain transparent, but bring balance and also mobilize Africans towards the success factors more than the failure factors, to unity factors more than dividing or challenging issues.
All right, perhaps as a final question, Your Excellency, when this organization was first formed, it was the Organization of African Unity, and it's now known as the African Union. How much closer are we to a united Africa, do you think?
I think we are moving very well. As you know, recently in Kigali, the free trade, the common free trade agreement has attracted already 44 commitments out of 54, and it's not over. In the next summit and then more summits to come, definitely the remaining countries will join. And then under the current reforms, all Africans have agreed that they will not continue to be dependent in terms of functioning on budget support from outside. Every country will be paying 0.2% of the value of its imports. So that is another milestone. And a free sky has been agreed in some places, in some regions, even removing roaming charges. So I believe as we continue to invest into integrated infrastructure in IT, in railways, and also simplifying and IT, making into IT different services and procedures and systems, the volume of trade, industrialization, movement of people and capital will definitely boost the economy of Africa and help Africa to be much more self-reliant and much more relevant in the global arena.
All right, Your Excellency, that's where we're going to have to leave it. Thank you very much indeed, Murakoze, and enjoy the rest of Africa Day. Bye-bye.